Hello guys, welcome again to the channel. Today I want to share with you this story and this information, and I hope it will give you some idea of how things are developing recently. This is again in relation to the current events taking place in Ukraine, and I want to talk to you about this company called ClearView. So what is this company, ClearView? This company is producing some face recognition software, and they are using facial images, they say here, sourced from public only web sources, including news media, websites, public social media, and other open sources. At least that's why what they are claiming to do. And so what this means is that they can use any photo that you displayed on your social media profile or in any other website that is publicly available, or something that at least you have the ability to enter, whether you know the credentials and why, or what are the purposes. They are using for investigation of major crimes, counterterrorism, conservation, law enforcement, intelligence and crime, patrol security, law enforcement background checks, and that's what they are doing. They are providing these services to law enforcement officially. So this seems to be like legitimate use of technology, but definitively an invasive use of the technology. And then they have here this disclaimer. Here you can see that says exclusive. Ukraine has started using ClearView's AI facial recognition during war, and this leads us to this website. This is a piece from Reuters, and they say exclusive. Ukraine has started using ClearView's AI's facial recognition during war. What can go wrong with that? No, they are using it. This is what they say, that they are using it to uncover Russian assailants, combat misinformation, and identify the dead. Nothing wrong with that, you would think, but let's dig into further. So Ukraine is receiving free access to ClearView's powerful search engine for faces, letting authorities potentially vet people of interest at checkpoints, among other uses. So the other uses part is the critical one. So you'll think, okay, so the government of Ukraine has the ability to identify the dead people and maybe increase their security with this kind of technology, but this has like a big potential for misuse. And they say here, ClearView, it had not offered the technology to Russia. I wonder why. If this has like such a neutral use, why they are not offering the technology to Russia? If there is no potential for misuse, why wouldn't ClearView offer this technology, to also allow Russia to identify possible, I don't know, dead soldiers or prisoners or some kind? Well, they are just clearly saying they are not offering this technology to Russia. And the Ukraine's Ministry of Defense did not reply to requests for comment. So that's very, very interesting, as we will see later. And this is the part that is concerning for people that are living in Russia. They are starting to use photos from Russian social media service Vkontakte, which is the most popular social media in Russia and in many countries that used to be part of the Soviet Union. And of course, the usual sources like Instagram, Facebook. They say that this can help Ukraine identify the dead more easily than trying to match fingerprints, and works even if there is facial damage. So this is the part that I question, why wouldn't they want to offer this to Russia? Maybe they have one of their soldiers dead and he lost his identification. Why wouldn't they offer the opportunity to identify him, or maybe a Ukrainian soldier that was dead, so they can properly identify it? No, no option for that. And let's dig more into this. They say ClearView technology could be used to reunite families separated, you know, that like case of refugees, identify Russian operatives, and help government debunk false social media posts. And this is the part that is very interesting. The exact purpose for which Ukraine's defense ministry is using the technology is unclear. So we will have a piece of information that I will share with you which shows which is the real purpose of this technology. And just take a look at this. They say the web contact images make ClearView's dataset more comprehensive than that of the publicly available image search engine that have people used to identify in war. So they are supplementing it. Probably about 90% of the profiles in web contact, they are public. That means anyone can see them without restrictions, sometimes even without having an account in the website. Probably 90% of profiles are open, so all those photos that are posted there are available. Facebook has demanded ClearView to stop taking its data, so um, I assume there is no legal way to prevent them from doing it. At least not one that I can see. If is public information is public. And here is what they are saying, that at least one critic says facial recognition could misidentify people at checkpoints and in battle. Mismatch could lead to civilian deaths, you know, just like unfair arrests have arisen from police use. So what they're saying is that this software, ClearView, is not perfect. You know, they can they can make mistakes. Probably is very accurate, but mistakes happen. Misidentifications can happen, and they say we can see well-intentioned technology by backfiring. I don't think this is completely accurate. Say well-intentioned technology, maybe some kind of dual-use technology. You know, I wouldn't say well-intentioned. Just dual use. You can use it for good or for harm. So just so powerful that you can have so many uses, as you will see later. And then the CEO of this company said, ClearView should never be wielded as the sole source of identification. And here's the part that he said. He will not want the technology to be used in violation of the Geneva Conventions, which created legal standards for humanitarian treatment during war. Wow, that's that's very, very, very accurate. Of course, he tries to be responsible, socially responsible, saying that covering all bases. And actually, Clearview is not at fault. They're just using a very powerful weapon, information weapon, and They are saying that ClearView sells these primarily to US law enforcement and is already filing lawsuits accusing them of violating privacy rights by taking images from the web. So this is, if you have ever used Google to search for images, this is how they are defending themselves. They are saying that ClearView using their image like as innocently as Google search. If you can use Google search for images, you can find exact matches for images. This is how Google works. They recently, probably about 4 years or so, they changed the way Google search was working because they were using approximate search. So if you had an image of a person, let's say a face, a selfie of some person, it was producing similar images, not just the image that was being searched like an exact match, but it was showing photos of the same person that was not exactly the same photo. And they recently trickled down those matches, so you can no longer use that in Google search, Google image search. But there are many other, freely available image searches that use more expansive searches. But those are like publicly available. But this is like premium service, and they're using artificial intelligence. To That's what they're saying here. Artificial intelligence to do facial recognition. So that means they can find all matches of what it looks like the face of the same person and try to match it to the original one. If you have ever used Google Photos with your own photos, there's an option that allows you to do facial recognition, and they request your permission to do this, because it's invasive. They can find your photos in all kinds of places where of photos that you have uploaded. Facebook has similar options. As far as I know, BK has a similar option. You can recognize photos of your friends. So this is the similar thing, but probably this is more, I will say, smarter, like a premium service. So that it is military grade, law enforcement grade technology. This is how is this technology is working. And now let's see how this is currently being used. This is according to an article from the Washington Post where it says using Ukraine is scanning faces of their Russians and then contacting the mothers. How about that? No? Ukrainian officials say the use of facial recognition software could help end the brutal war, and they say that this is, some experts call it psychological warfare. That is a gruesome precedent, so this is very, very concerning. Um, so this article from the Washington Post is behind a paywall. So if you don't have access to this, I will recommend you to use this website that is called Archive PH. And how it works is, this is the original article from the Washington Post. So this is the URL, and it's behind a paywall. So you need to subscribe, and that's how you will be able to use this. If you don't want to pay, you can use this one, and this is crawling the web for sources of information. So if something that you want to refer to is behind a paywall, you can try to see if you can find it here. They have a search feature, so you just paste here the URL you want to search, and if they have indexed that article, then you should be able to read it without having to have a premium service on that particular website. And This is just awful, absolutely horrible what they're doing. Just incredible, incredible story. Just harrowing, gruesome, cruel, callous use of this technology, and they are using it with the in this an IT army thing that is called a volunteer force of hackers. Volunteers force of hackers, so and activists, as if that gives them some kind of credence, some you know authorization to do what they want, and they are following direction from the Ukrainian government. See that? And they say has used those identifications, so they are using ClearView. See, they are saying here later. The Ukrainians championed the use of face scanning software from the US tech firm ClearView as a brutal but effective way to stir up dissent inside Russia, discourage other fighters, and hasten an end to a devastating war. So, what they are doing is this: pay attention to this because this is absolutely horrible. They are finding some Russian soldier dead, then they are using ClearView software to identify the person, usually finding some post in social media, and then they are calling their mothers. No, just imagine that. They are calling the mother and they are showing them the photo of their dead son. They're saying, "Okay, this is your son. Here is his body, and he's dead." And you know, they are hoping that people will be horrified and they will say, "Okay, let's stop sending our sons and to the conflict." I don't think that's how this is going to work. This is absolutely barbaric, just really horrible, And this is even more horrible because they can make mistakes. They can call the wrong mother, the wrong parents, and say, "Oh, here is your son. He's dead." And how do they know what is going to happen? In the heart of a mother, in the heart of a father, how do they know if they are going to die of heart attack? How do they know if they will kill themselves often, presuming that their son is dead? Maybe he isn't dead, and if he is dead, even more so. How can they justify this? But now everything that Ukraine does is correct just because it's Ukraine. Hey, let's jump on board. I stand for Ukraine. No, that's what people say. So what if the Russians were doing this? People will jump and say, "Oh, this is so horrible," but no, is Ukraine doing it? Then it's okay, And they are doing it, and they can use this tool whenever they want, free of charge. Yay! What can go wrong with that? They can use it whenever they want. So, and there is no one that is preventing them from using them. There is no ombudsman that is whether checking whether it's for a legitimate use or something. It's just absolutely, and look at this, what they are doing. They just are having oh wow moments like if it was something amazing. How much data, including family photos, social media posts, relationship details, they could gather from a single cadver scan. How about that? And they don't stop there. They go to your all the people, all your connections, all your friends. They can scan all your connections in social media and scan their profiles again for photos of you, with your friends. And it's in, in, impossible to describe. How is this so horrible? They are so enthusiastic. Their energy is really high. They say they are going to win every call. Imagine that. It's like absolutely horrible. Ukraine's Ministry of Defense. So this is the official Ukraine's Ministry of Defense. I can't imagine how a father or mother will feel after these kind of calls. Why are they doing this? Just to instill terror in the heart of people. This is absolutely horrible, really. So let me know what you guys think. I'm just horrified about this, and I will advise anyone and everyone in any country in the world to just have a private profile. There is no need to have public profiles. No, absolutely no need. Really, no need. Close your profiles. This is just absolutely horrible, and especially Russians during this time of conflict. Close it. Ukrainians, every person in the world should close their uh, social media profiles or delete them altogether. There's so many possibilities for misuse, so that I can probably even think about this. So if you have any questions or comments, please write them in the comment section below. And as always, please share this video in any social media that you have available. Share it with your friends, and let's see what will come out after this. So I hope to see you again in the next one, and thank you for watching.